Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's falling out with Netflix. And this is juicy.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle feel incredibly threatened by Tom Bower and his upcoming book, Betrayal.
The point of view of Prince Harry's psychology, what is going on in his marriage? Is there a marriage, really? Because Harry has been told that Meghan Markle is his Achilles heel.
Meghan Markle's getting paid to fly out in the sky-high price of luxury at this retreat in Australia.
What happens when the image you've built starts slipping faster than you can control it? Because right now, Meghan Markle isn't just facing criticism. She's facing something far more dangerous: momentum turning against her.
Meghan Markle associated to people who are bankrupt, corrupt, and have been sued right, left, and center.
And if you want more deep dives into royal stories like this, make sure to subscribe to Royal Archives, because this one unfolds in ways most people didn't see coming. It started with what looked like just another opportunity: a luxury-style event, an exclusive retreat, a chance to reconnect with a global audience. On paper, it made sense, but almost immediately, something felt off.
Oh, Harry and Meghan, let's go there. All right, so there is a brand new book which is all in and around Meghan Markle being able to brainwash Harry.
Can it get any worse for Meghan? Can it get any worse for this woman? Can her life ever go the right way?
The plan involved a high-end women's retreat in Australia, premium pricing, limited access, an intimate experience built around Meghan Markle herself. But as details began to surface, the reaction wasn't excitement, it was confusion, and then skepticism, then backlash.
Well, it looks like Harry and Meghan are going to be going to Australia. They're going to be going to Australia, but there is a problem. They're not wanted in Australia.
Because people started asking questions about the pricing, about the structure, about what was actually being offered, and more importantly, why now? Reports suggested ticket prices reaching into the thousands, and while premium events aren't unusual for public figures, the value being offered became a major talking point. Critics online pointed out the mismatch between expectations and delivery.
Meghan Markle's getting paid to fly out in the sky-high price of luxury at this retreat in Australia.
Meghan Markle, fresh off of her dumping by Netflix, they've made no room for error.
Some questioned whether the experience justified the cost. Others focused on something deeper, a growing pattern, because this wasn't happening in isolation. At the same time, a separate narrative was unfolding, one tied to Hollywood, one tied to Netflix, and one tied to credibility.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are once again proving why they are such a danger to the British royal family.
A recent report from Variety, one of the most respected publications in the entertainment industry, began circulating widely, saying, and it didn't paint a flattering picture, it didn't accuse, it didn't speculate wildly, but it did something more powerful. It raised questions. Questions about direction, about output, about the future of Meghan and Harry's partnership with Netflix.
Oh, Harry and Meghan, let's go there. All right, so there is a brand new book which is all in and around Meghan Markle being able to brainwash Harry.
Can it get any worse for Meghan? Can it get any worse for this woman? Can her life ever go the right way?
According to industry insiders cited in the report, there has been increasing pressure behind the scenes. Expectations were high, the deal itself was massive. But results have been mixed. And in Hollywood, that matters, because perception isn't just important, it's everything. Now suddenly, two separate narratives were colliding at once.
Things that aren't true because they know they'll wind up in court. So he's a fearsome figure. His book is called Betrayal. It contains some really juicy allegations.
A public-facing venture drawing criticism, and a behind-the-scenes partnership facing scrutiny. And this is where things started to shift. Because when public perception begins to change, it rarely happens all at once. It happens in layers, quietly at first, and then all at once. The Australia event wasn't just being discussed as a one-off controversy anymore. It was being seen as part of a bigger picture, a pattern of projects that start strong, but struggle to land the way they're expected to.
Confided to a friend, Harry's been brainwashed by Meghan. Who could disagree since they got married?
Now, to be clear, not everything being said online is verified. Some discussions and rumors have circulated, especially around event logistics and organization, but those remain unconfirmed. What is confirmed is the reaction. And the reaction has been loud, because this isn't just about one retreat. It's about trust. when audiences feel unsure about what they're being offered, when expectations don't align with reality, that's when backlash begins to grow.
Because the government wants to seize her apartment. She doesn't have very much. No wonder she agreed to have Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle has ghosted Emma O'Neill, the lady organizing Australia's shindig.
And for Meghan Markle, timing couldn't be worse, because while this was unfolding publicly, something else was happening. Quietly. Silence. No clear clarification, no strong public response, and in today's media environment, silence doesn't calm things down. It amplifies them, because people fill the gaps with opinions, with assumptions, with narratives, and those narratives spread fast.
This is what happens when you don't have a proper PR team, because sunshine sucks.
At the same time, Prince Harry's position in all of this has become a topic of discussion as well, not through confirmed statement, but through observation. Public appearances, past interviews, moments where dynamics have been analyzed by media and audiences alike. Again, nothing definitive.
She's panicking that this came out, and Emma cannot reach Meghan Markle anymore. Suddenly, Marcus Anderson and Meghan Markle cannot come to the phone.
But enough to keep people watching. And this is where the story goes deeper. Because this isn't just about events or deals anymore, it's about identity. For years, Meghan has positioned herself as independent, strategic, in control of her narrative. But now, critics are asking if that's true.
Now, Amy Griffin is another interesting character, because Amy Griffin was a nobody just like Meghan, and she married a billionaire. I mean, these women managed to insert themselves with these very powerful men.
Why do so many ventures seem to face turbulence? Is it bad timing, bad partnerships, or something else entirely? Because here's what makes this moment different. It's not just critics talking, it's mainstream outlets. It's industry voices, it's people who don't usually engage in speculation.
Harry had it hard when he was growing up. The only tragedy that happened to his life was that his mother died in a car accident.
Now raising eyebrows, and when that happens, the impact is bigger. Because Hollywood doesn't react emotionally. It reacts strategically. And according to reports, there are growing concerns about long-term viability. Not dramatic statements, not explosive accusations, just a shift in tone from excitement to caution. And that shift, that's what changes everything. Now back to Australia. Because as scrutiny intensified,
company of Meghan, Duchess of Sussex, it'll cost you $2,699.
questions around the event itself didn't disappear. They grew louder. Would it still happen? Would details change? Would there be a response? And then something unexpected happened. The narrative stopped being about the event and started being about what might happen next.
Who could disagree? Since they got married, he suddenly hates his country, hates his family, hates being a royal, and goes off for a very boring life in California.
Because when pressure builds from multiple directions, something eventually has to give. A decision, a statement, or a move no one saw coming. And right now, all eyes are on what that move will be. Because if this is just a temporary setback, it will pass. But if it's something bigger, if it signals a deeper shift in how Meghan Markle is perceived, then this moment is just the beginning. And what happens next could redefine everything, and that next move may already be unfolding.
Things that aren't true because they know they'll wind up in court. So he's a fearsome figure. His book is called Betrayal. It contains some really juicy allegations.
Because while the public debate was still building, something else quietly entered the conversation. Not speculation, not rumor, but documented reporting. Some in the Variety article didn't just question outcomes. It focused on dynamics, how projects were handled, how conversations were shaped, and how decisions were made behind closed doors. According to insiders cited in the report, there were moments in meetings where direction shifted unexpectedly.
Bauer, whose devastating new book about the Sussexes, betrayal, power, deceit, and the fight for the future of the royal family, paints Harry in the worst possible light.
Ideas evolving mid-conversation. Messaging being reframed in real time. Not unusual in Hollywood, but noticeable enough to be mentioned. And when that kind of detail surfaces publicly,
Now, 3 insiders, this is really interesting, say Netflix chief Ted Sarandos is fed up with the pair. Now, why that's really fascinating.
It changes how people interpret everything else. Because now the discussion isn't just about what happened, it's about how it happened. And that's where perception becomes powerful. At the same time, the Australia situation still hadn't fully resolved. Questions remained, not just about the event itself, but about its future. And because once doubt enters the conversation, it doesn't just disappear, it grows.
As Meghan for a long time tried to form a close relationship with Ted Sarandos, arguably the most powerful man in Hollywood.
And the longer clarity is delayed, the more space there is for interpretation. Some observers began connecting the dots, again not as confirmed conclusions, but as patterns. A high-profile deal facing pressure, a public event facing backlash, a noticeable lack of direct response. Individually, each could be explained. Together, they start to tell a different story. And this is where things reached a turning point. Because the conversation shifted from what is happening to, is this sustainable? That question alone changes everything. In entertainment, momentum is fragile. You can build it quickly, but losing it, that can happen even faster. And when major outlets begin asking questions, others follow, not with accusations, but with caution. Because in Hollywood, people don't wait for confirmation. They react to signals. And right now, the signals are mixed. There are still opportunities, still influence, still a global audience paying attention, but there is also something else now. Doubt. And doubt is harder to control than criticism, because criticism can be addressed. Doubt lingers. Meanwhile, public reaction continues to evolve, not in one direction, but in many. Some still support, some remain neutral, others are becoming increasingly skeptical. And that split, that's what makes this moment unpredictable, because when public opinion fragments, the outcome becomes harder to manage. Now, back to the bigger picture, because this isn't just about one retreat or one report, it's about trajectory, where things were heading, and where they seem to be going now. For years, the narrative was clear: a new chapter, a fresh start, a move into independence. But moments like this, they test that narrative, not by proving it wrong, but by challenging it. And when challenges stack up, the pressure builds. So what happens next? That's the question no one can answer yet. Does the Australia situation resolve quietly? Does the Netflix partnership regain momentum? Does public perception stabilize? Or does this become a defining turning point? Because history shows something important. Reputation doesn't collapse overnight. It shifts gradually, then suddenly, and right now. We may be watching that shift in real time. Not confirmed, not finalized, but unfolding. And that's why the story matters. Because it's not just about Meghan Markle, it's about how quickly perception can change, even at the highest level. And how once that change begins, it's incredibly difficult to reverse. So keep watching. Because the next move, the next statement, the next decision could change everything again. And if you want to stay ahead of stories like this as they unfold, make sure to subscribe to Royal Archives, because this is far from over, because sometimes the most important part of the story is what happens next.